Hello and welcome to Diamonds and Duds. I am Ivan.
And I am Charles.
Today we're taking a little bit of a turn. We're on episode 28. I can't believe we're doing this all over a year now.
I know, time flies, doesn't it?
Yes. This time we're going into an anime for the first time. This was probably, it's one of the few, watching this was one of the few times I've ever watched an anime. We're going into My Hero Academia. We're going to go through the first 3 episodes of the show.
Yeah. And this is the first anime I ever remember watching, really. I remember when we lived in Kansas City, I remember being over at we were at my friend Tristan, either Tristan or Alan Koss's house. And we weren't watching one. There was just one, and we were outside, so I think it was Tristan. We were outside, and there was just one on the TV in the background. I just remember seeing for a couple minutes.
Okay, so you don't remember. There was, as a kid, there was one that we used to watch. You, me, Mary, and we went way before we did. Obviously there's Voltron that we.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
But there was something like Voltron.
Yeah.
That we used to. That was
okay.
Because I vaguely it was like Voltron, but it was like cats.
Okay.
Do you kind of vaguely remember that? No, yeah.
I just remember Voltron. I don't remember any of the show. I remember Voltron, and honestly, I remember more of the more in the aspect of the Rick and Morty episode and the Key and Peele sketch. There's just YouTube the Key and Peele sketch. But I remember just like fight. Oh, we're getting our butts kicked. All right, everything come together to form the. That's pretty much what I remember of Voltron. We might have had some.
We didn't watch Voltron. There was some I don't know if we had it on tape or it was like some channel we used to watch.
Yeah.
It used to have cartoons of like a knockoff or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me, there was no Rotten. Obviously, this was on Rotten Tomatoes, but there was no reviews of it. But virtually every season was at 100. Like when I tried to pull up, it was at 100% fans. Nothing by critics. And this was created by Kohei Horikoshi. And I apologize if I mispronounced anything.
Yeah, so My Hero Academia, 2019, starts, and this is a show. After he saves a bully from a villain, a normal student is granted a superpower that allows him to attend a high school training academy for heroes.
Yes. And so it feels like the first 2 episodes of this, and we'll get into the kind of explaining it like we normally do.
Yeah.
But it feels like the first 2 episodes are probably the pilot. It's kind of what.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it felt like, and then the 3rd episode was kind of getting into the meat of it. Probably.
Yeah. I didn't even argue. I mean, I haven't seen the 4th episode yet, but we'll get into it. Yeah, you can. Yes, I would say the first 2, but you can actually even argue based on what I think is going to happen. What the next episode is about, that the first 4 are kind of like an introductory arc, kind of thing that they're all grouped together, and I assume from 5 on is going to set kind of.
And what else? One thing I'll ask here, Charles, before we go into this: did you have the subtitles on?
No, I did not. I switched it to English.
And then I watched on. We watched both on. You watched on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I watched on Netflix.
When I watched on Netflix, it was in English, which is what I watched. It's because I normally don't like watching dubbed stuff, but since it was a cartoon, I didn't think that really mattered a whole lot. But what I would say is, to any of you who are going to watch this, I 1,000% recommend putting on English with English subtitles because it's hilarious. I don't know if it was. I think it's somebody, because it would be one of the characters at one point says shit, but the subtitle says darn, and there's stuff where they're explaining what they're saying, but they're explaining it in more detail in the subtitle, which is really funny. But basically, what this is that the story of this is I'm not sure if this is meant to be Earth or some other, but basically is that some baby in China at a certain point, they realize gets what they call special abilities in this world, quirks.
Yep.
And this baby got a quirk, but not long after, this is now set sometime after. They weren't clear about how long, but sometime after that.
I think at one point, like they don't say the time, but I think they talk. I think it's been generations.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's been like they say, and when they're talking about like it's been generations, like a long time, like
and
past lifetimes.
And I don't know how old the writing for this story is, but what I appreciated, because we come from a lot of, as kids. And even as adults, we were kind of really into the Marvel stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But what I appreciate is that this is a completely different take on that.
Yes, yeah, very unique.
And because basically what this is that up to 80% of the population at this point has a quirk.
Has some kind of ability.
It can be minute.
Yeah.
It can be really minute, or it can be that, hey, you have a super, like you.
Yeah. Like our main character's mother, they don't mention, I think it's second or third episode, she mentions, like basically she has a quirk. It's a minor one. She can make like move small objects.
She can move small objects with her mind, like
a pencil.
Yeah, she can move it. Like let's say her pencil's on the table, she can use it to move her. But it sounds like his father had one where he could like shoot fire or something like that. But I thought that was interesting. But also the part that I thought was interesting, it would make it rather dangerous, is that most people find out what quirk they have by the time they're in kindergarten.
Yeah, that's really.
Now, Charles, can you imagine? Let's say you're a parent and you have 4 kids, like our sister Mary.
Yeah.
Man, her kids are amazingly well behaved. But let's say as a parent you had to deal with 4 kids.
Oh.
And I love my nephew Wyatt. Wyatt tends he can be he can have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Let's say he had super ability.
Oh God, yeah. It's even like just
even something minor like moving.
But also the aspect of finding out around that age. I have a friend since I moved here in 6th grade, Jason Liu. He's in our fantasy football league, Team Cucumber. He has 4 kids that are including a set of twins. He has at one point he had 4 kids that were 5 or under, because they had them close proximity and then 2 twins. So like considering like. There's a scenario where he could have had 3 or 4 of those kids developing those superpowers like right around the same time, So very very interesting, very very interesting, and I really do like the setup, and also it shifts the dynamic. We've never seen the dynamic. We've seen worlds where there's a lot of people where superpowers happen a lot. This is the first time we've seen a world where that's the norm.
Basically, you're made fun of if you don't have a superpower. Yep. But also, one of the things, I don't know if you caught, Charles, I think this show also has a purposeful tone.
Yeah.
I think the tone of this show, and I don't know if it's meant to be, but at least the first 3 episodes really have about overcoming depression.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because one of the first things they mentioned in this show is that just all men are not created equal.
Yeah.
And they don't address. They just sort of leave it at the fact that not everybody's on a even playing field.
Yes, overcoming depression, overcoming bullies. Those are really really big themes throughout this. Our hero, basically, he desperately wants a power, but he doesn't have one.
He desperately wants a power, and kind of it goes in. One of the first things in the first episode, he's walking, I think, to school, and he comes across. And what's crazy is it doesn't sound like this is that unusual of a thing, but basically they walk upon like a thing where what they're saying is that some villain tried to steal a purse from somebody. When it happened, like they couldn't do it, so then they use their superpower, which makes them a giant, which then brings in just a host of superheroes.
Yeah, and and I really like that. This is a great scene to kind of set things up, because one, we get like people like not caring, not even paying attention. We got a person saying like, again, I'm going to be late for work. I like letting somebody know, yeah, I'm caught again, going to be late for work. Just like, this is so run of the book, because 80% of the world has powers, so you get a lot of villains just constantly doing shit, and you get a lot of heroes. We see that not all powers are treated equal. We have like a guy had like a tree kind of power.
Yeah, because I think the first 3 or 4 people are kind of a team.
Yeah.
Is we have Death Arms, which it sounds like is a guy who just sort of can shoot his arms forward.
Yeah.
We have Backdraft, who's basically a fireman who can shoot water. We have the tree guy.
Yeah, tree guy like starts to do that. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But that's when
that's when a brand new superhero uses this opportunity to kind of because basically the other point is, I forget where they mention it in the first 3 episodes. We'll probably talk as if this is one long episode. But basically, there's a female called Mount Lady, I think her name is. Yeah, Mount Lady, who can make herself a giant, who decides to use this as an opportunity from a social media standpoint to get herself out there.
Yeah, she does. We'll get to it again later, but she also had my favorite line of the entire 3 episodes. Was later on. There's another fight. She comes and she's like, "Oh no, my one weakness, road," because she's huge. She's like a giant. Roads that aren't at least 2 lanes wide.
I thought that was. I too thought I wrote that down. That was so well done.
Yeah, that was funny. So like, our hero's taking note. He likes to look at these and he's taking notes.
He's taking detailed notes about what these heroes can do. What their strengths are, how they're, because basically he's looking for any way in that he can. For when he gets his quirk, I think is what he's hoping.
Yeah. Well, it really is just like it seems like he's even at the point where he doesn't think he's going to get a quirk, because you don't get it at his age. More like he's determined to become a hero just without a quirk.
True.
He's determined to become like the first one. We get introduced to his bully, and also our hero seems to have a bit of a courage problem, a bit of a stand up for himself problem.
Yes. Oh, yes, and part of the other thing in this world too is that the heroes are paid solely based on their social media presence. It's because let's say a hero saves somebody and no one sees it.
Yeah.
They don't get shit for that.
Nope.
No one cares.
It's all about this.
It's all about the social media clicks, which I found really funny.
Yeah, I found that really, and also everyone in terms of school age. So the school seems to be really heavily about,
and I think they're in junior high. Is what it sounds like.
I think.
I believe they're in junior high.
Because everyone, the school that everyone wants to get in is basically is.
It's kind of the name of the
show. Basically, it's the hero. It's like the school to go to become a hero.
Only the best of the best possible heroes can go there, and they mentioned kind of in passing that they recently amended their rules that people without quirks theoretically can get in.
Theoretically can get in. Everybody else in his class kind of makes fun of him because he's the only one without a quirk in the class.
Because not only do all the people in the class make fun of him, the teacher makes fun of him.
Yes. Okay. And so he thinks he can do it, and like the bully just like they're trying to think you're better than me, and he's even like, no, I'm not trying to compete with you. I can't. I just want, it's just always been my lifelong dream.
I just want to be part. It's just want to be part of this.
Yeah, and he's basically like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Let's just say that there's some stuff the bully says at this point in the show that's I don't think we should talk about here.
Yeah.
But
he says some dark shit.
some really dark shit that I was not.
And so we're gonna see. I do wonder where things are gonna go long term with that bully.
Yeah, I do too.
Basically, we also find out. So there is an it hero in this universe. It's our hero's favorite. It's the universally coolest hero is this guy called All Might.
Yes.
It says action figure. We see flashbacks to
when he was a kid. Like he's a kid still, but like when he was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, when he learned that he can't be.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a quirk. He's always had the action figure. Like the interesting thing is, no one knows what All Might's quirk is. He seems to be able to do a lot of different things.
Yes.
Well, basically that he's like the best.
Yes, and
so we get that, and he's so what basically they take the bullies, they set his notebook on fire, they throw it down like some kind of sewer or something like that. He's feeling kind of down.
Yeah, and they kind of as that they do the flashback they do is that it's meant to be YouTube. Is he watches the same video, and basically what it is All Might debuting.
Yeah.
Is that as a kid he loved the debut video, because then it also kind of goes to, and this is a really brutal thing the doctor said. Yeah. It's basically the doctor, because when he was a kid, the doctor talks about, because this is where you get a little bit of the knowledge about how because that's like, hey, it's based, I think they said a pinky or one finger or one of your toes. It's specific. It's like, hey, if you're, depending on how many joints or muscles or something in there, is how they tell if you're going to have a quirk and what it's going to be.
And I thought that was really interesting. The connection between the bones in the foot and developing a quirk.
And one of the things I thought was really well done is the last one we did was the Transformers thing. And I think a theme of us talking about Transformers is how poorly it was written and how they just sort of didn't address crap the entire time. And I love the fact that they said, hey, typically quirks are from the parents, or is some sort of combination of the mother and father, and there's like a 20% chance the person's going to get nothing.
Yeah.
And like your kid's fucked. Your kid's not going to get anything. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
it's basically what the doctor says, which I thought was rather funny in a really dark way, but I didn't have a problem laughing because that's obviously what they were going for.
Yeah. And so as he's walking, he got his notebook. He runs into.
One other thing I wanted to mention there too is that the mother then has a point where she tells the kid, "You're sorry." The kid goes, "Mom, am I going to get a perk or a quirk?" Quirk, and he's like, "Mom, I needed you to tell me. You never know. You can always overcome things." But you didn't. You told me no. You will never. Basically, the kid took it to mean that his mother thought he was never going to be anything. And so then
they keep on coming back to that.
And so what the kid did, which I thought was a really amazing thing to talk about during this show, is the kid then. Part of the reason he wanted for his computer time to watch that thing is that he noticed that All Might was always smiling, so he will make a point for his entire life to make sure he was always smiling and always as happy as can be.
Yeah, and so earlier in the episode, we saw we briefly seen All Might in action against this liquid, against this liquid villain, and then as our hero's a bit down, his things all burn. He runs into a kind of sewer thing. That the liquid villain who starts trying to stuff the liquid down.
Because basically, it sounds like part of this villain's what he called quirk is that they can take possession of somebody to basically use their quirk or use them to kind of get around, kind of thing.
Yeah, and so he's basically dying, but then All Might shows up, who is still fighting, basically searching for, and All Might comes in and he saves.
Yeah, and what I appreciated the fact that they didn't spend a ton of time on that fight.
No,
it's like the kid gets knocked out and he wakes up and it's over.
Yeah, and like he put the villain in a 2-liter soda bottle, which I
thought was really funny.
Now, so someone says sometimes you have a chance to meet, your heroes, whether it in the real world, whether it's, someone like, at a Comic-Con or out the street, some of us, handle it well, some of us read up, some of us, it's no big deal, some of us act like insane psychotic spazzes, and I'm saying this in a good way, it's about entertainment, and that's what our hero does. Our hero spazzes the fuck out.
Yes, and I appreciated the fact that All Might just sort of takes it.
Yeah. like it could have been really easy for to have All Might's character kind of secretly be maybe a little bit cocky, a little bit, but no, he's not. And our hero, he's Yeah, he signs his book.
He
while he's unconscious.
He signs his book because he knows the kid's going to want that. But also, you can tell that All Might's also kind of trying to advance this.
Yes.
He's trying to, okay, we need to get this moving.
Yeah, and so he flies away because he can fly. And, like, we see that literally our hero grabs a hold of his leg and is like, All Might's like flying with this kid to like, get off. It's like, oh wait, no, you can't get off. If you get off, you're gonna die now.
And basically, the kid's like, yeah, this probably wasn't the smartest idea.
Yeah.
And then one of the I like the deadpan of the All Might character a lot. So that at a certain point, All Might drops onto some like random like roof.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, just knock on the door. They'll eventually let you in. And he goes to leave. Just goes to fucking leave.
This is the episode break, pretty much.
This is basically to lead you into the next episode.
Yeah. But then he's going to leave in the beginning of the next episode, and something happens to All Might.
Yes. All Might, basically, because All Might, and we didn't really describe him, All Might's kind of the same, meant to be 6'5", 6'6", 250, 300 pounds. They do it in the weird other stuff that we can't understand, like kilos or whatever. Yeah. But basically, he's meant to be this giant, like a Superman kind of thing. But now he's like 5'10" and weighs like 150.
Yeah, he turns into, if you're looking for like a mental image and you're a gamer, he turns into Guybrush Threepwood from the Monkey Island. Like just visually, like just in terms of visually, like it's not a copy or anything like that. Just visually, there's some similarities.
It scares the crap out of the kid.
Yeah,
it scares the crap out of the kid.
Blonde hair, gaunt, really, just really skinny.
Yeah,
it's kind of and just really run down. So,
and because I forget if it's before or after the episode break, but basically what the plot of it is that 5 years ago, All Might got in some fight that hurt him really bad, and so this person can only turn into All Might up to 3 hours a day.
Yeah, and I also the impression we'll probably learn more as we go on. My impression I have is even before he got that injury, I don't think that it was 24/7.
It was like a 24. Yeah, okay.
Because we're gonna find out later on is that he was not born with this quirk.
No,
he was born quirkless.
Yeah, he was born quirkless like our hero.
Yeah. And so this is a different animal. This is something we're going to learn it's an inherited thing that's passed down.
Yeah.
So maybe before he got injured it was 24/7. Maybe it's some, but his side now. It's like really.
You know what? I think you're right. I think what the plot is that he can only do it 3 hours a day, but also he's not in very good shape. And they make a point of talking about he's had a bunch of surgeries. They've tried to fix it. Whatever he has and whatever they did to him was unfixable. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the flight, where our hero, our main character was hanging onto the leg. All Might had the soda bottle with the villain in his pocket. The pocket ripped and it fell out, really, because our hero was holding on to his leg. Our bully and his friends are walking by. He kicks it, basically the liquid villain gets let out.
Yep. Oh, and the one other point that All Might's going to answer here in later on in the episode is that right before the episode break. What they leave you with, I actually wrote down, was that basically our hero asks All Might, "Can I become a hero without a quirk?"
Yes,
was the point they ask. They then go to the next episode. They reveal the soda bottle's gone, and they kind of go into that.
And they also reveal that All Might said no.
Oh yeah. All Might said absolutely not. You cannot become a hero without a quirk.
Now All Might also said, "Hey, But you can
become a policeman. The heroes are going to take all the credit, but it's a very honorable job.
Yeah, he does. He's not a demand.
He's not being an asshole. He just I think doesn't want the kid to die.
Yeah, he's being. So meanwhile, the liquid villain, he's got the bully. And it's kind of powering him up. All these heroes are trying to go but none of them can do anything. All Might can't turn into All Might because he's there.
Well, because basically what it is that the bully and his friends are in that kind of in an alley. His friends are trying to talk the bully into doing something stupid, and he's like, "Hey,
sneak in and get drinks." At a bar.
He's basically sneaking the drinks and get. He's like, "Dude, if we get caught." I'm not going to. Basically, he's like, dude, you guys are losers. You're not getting into this special high school. I probably am with the current setup. I'm not taking a chance at not getting it, which I think is also kind of a crucial story beat for him.
Yeah, because
and I haven't seen much past where we've watched. My guess is by the end of this, him and what he called are probably friends. Is what I assume they're moving towards. I don't think they're moving towards him being like his nemesis or villain.
No,
or anything.
I don't think so.
I think they're moving towards an arc where they kind of become friends. Is what I'm assuming. But like what happens is they meet they run into the villain that All Might lost. Kind of thing. I think one of them kicks the bottle, the villain gets out.
Yeah.
But the villain gets into him. Yeah. Which, because he has some sort of fire ability, it sounds like, which makes it sounds like not only does this like goo villain go into you, but it also like supercharges whatever ability you have.
Yeah, and so all these other heroes, they're failing.
And basically they're like, dude, fuck this. Because like the tree guy's like, I'll try, but like, guys, I'm wood. That's a bunch of fire.
Yeah. So they start doing kind of crowd control. This is where the big giant lady's like, oh, my little weakness, a road that's not 2 lanes.
And basically, they're heroes that help out people a lot.
Yeah.
They're also a realist, and they're like, dude, we're going to die if we try and do this.
Yeah.
So we're just going to sort of crowd control until a more powerful person comes. And if that kid, basically, if the bully dies, to quote Rocky, was it Rocky 4? Yeah. If he dies, he dies. Yeah. That's kind of what they obviously hope he doesn't, but like they're not going to go get killed themselves to try and.
Yeah. And so our main character, he's down at this point, and
he's like, hey, All Might said I'm never going to become anything. Yeah. And then he sees.
Yeah, he found his way there anyway, and he rushes in to help.
Basically, because basically what it is that he sees it as his fault. Yeah. He sees that because I don't know if he necessarily thinks of him as my classmate is now going to die because I grabbed All Might's legs.
Yeah.
If I hadn't grabbed All Might's legs, this never would have happened. And this guy's going to die because of me. Is basically what the kid thinks.
Yeah, and so he's trying to free the kid. He's not being successful.
He's not being. He throws his book bag at him, but I think around that point you see that the kind of weakling All Might kind of sees, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going in there." He's already right around his 3 hours basically.
He's passed.
Oh, that's right.
He's passed, and his attitude is basically like, this is my fault. People like All Might's also thinking this is his fault, and he's like, but what our hero is basically doing, it gives All Might enough energy to force himself to change again.
Yes, All Might. But also one of the things I don't know if you noticed is, I think, and I could be wrong, I think what they're going to go into later is that when the kid throws the bag at the villain, that knocked the villain out of the bully's mouth.
Oh, okay.
Which then the bully then is able to start fighting back.
Yeah, he starts. Yeah.
By him doing that, the bully was able to start fighting back against.
Yeah, he starts doing some of his powers. Yeah, and so All Might, basically defeats at the end, like the kid, like our hero's getting like ridiculed by like what you were get, and like the bully's getting like, hey, great use of power. Hey, when you start your training, I'm looking for a sidekick,
which is. And then what I thought was hilarious is the villain is just in trash bags.
Yeah,
they had like 10 trash bags that the villain was in.
Yeah, so we're starting to get the close of the second episode. The kid's walking. All Might finds him again.
Yep.
And this is where we learn that Not as we see.
No, and because basically this is where kind of, and I forget if it's the All Might or the kid that mentions, hey, no one really knows what your quirk is or how you got your quirk. Kind of, and he talks about how, yeah, and anytime anybody asks me about it, I just sort of laugh it off or that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so
basically his quirk, and I kind of would do quirk in quotations for the purpose of this, is that his ability is one that gets passed down from person to person.
Yes.
And I think, and this is purely a guess, my guess is that each person who gets it gets some sort of portion from the previous one, but they probably get their own thing that gets added to it, is my guess.
And also, it seems like it's like multiple things. Because he can fly, because All Might can fly, he's got strength.
Because that's what I think it's like. There was a character at one point that could fly, there was a character at one point that was...
so like adding...
Yeah, that's what I think it's kind of...
Yeah, and so we get... So basically, that's it. So he's been on the lookout for an heir. It's not a biological passing. It's he chooses someone as an heir, and then there is something that's done that passes it along. A question I do have, and this will be answered in episodes past 3, is once All Might passes it, does he lose it? Is he permanently skinny?
I'm very curious.
Is he permanently skinny guy?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious. That's something I'm curious about.
Is he going to kind of be like a mentor at a certain point? It sounds like he's going to pass, because basically what happens is that our hero obviously finds out that he's going to get this power from All Might.
Yeah, and he's not handling this well. Again, he's spazzing out. At one point, All Might stop nerding out. He's telling the
He's basically, I'm wondering if his superhero name's going to be Fanboy.
That would be great. Yeah, because he's going to go all Fanboy. The official name for the power is called One for All.
Yeah,
that's the official name of All Might's power that he passes along. Basically, our hero, Izuku, basically, all it says that acting like a hero and charging in like that proved him worthy in his eyes.
Yes, but it's also something we learned through this episode. This isn't going to be like a snap of a fingers and you get, because All Might knows that this kid's body is not, he's not capable of absorbing all this shit at once.
His limbs will all sever and he will die. And I also, but when he finds out that he's proved worthy, he's gonna. Good Lord, Izuku goes to pieces immediately. He's collapsed on the ground, bawling his eyes out.
There was right about that point too. Is I thought, because one thing I appreciated about this, and this is why 1,000% I'm going to keep watching this, is that one of the great lines I've heard in one of our episodes lately is that All Might says, Dooku, there's a difference between being lucky and being rewarded.
Yeah.
You're being rewarded for something you did. This isn't something you got by accident.
Yeah.
And I think people can take that also there's a difference between getting lucky and if you're being rewarded for something you did well.
Yeah.
And basically that's what All Might wants to convince, is that you're not just randomly getting this, shithead. You're getting this because you're being rewarded for something you did amazing.
Yeah. And so, he accepts it. He doesn't hem and haw it. Once he stops, bawling his eyes out, he accepts it right away.
He said, and they kind of do a Rocky-esque montage, which I thought was kind of cool.
Because he's got 10 months, because he's got, it's basically a placement test to see if he can get into that school. He's got 10 months for it. And this episode is in a montage, is going to go through the rest of the 10 months.
Basically, he's going to go through the rest of it, because basically he has to do two things. Is that he has to get his body more physically strong in 10 months, which All Might has a plan for him, but also he needs to make sure that from a test-taking stand, like a written test probably, that he understands all the little ins and outs of shit, I assume.
Yeah, and so... it's entertaining basically for he's got to clean up this beach, but it's not like regular trash. It's all basically refrigerators and furniture and all kind of just that kind of shit. There's just miles everywhere. He's basically, and that's what a lot of the physical stuff. All Might's come up with a plan, a specific plan. However, really quickly Izuku starts overworking himself, doing
and All Might's like, oh, you've been the only reason this wouldn't work is if you're overworking yourself.
Yeah.
Because basically what happens is that when the kid's in school, he's also doing shit as well. And it's
and so they go there. He gets he starts to get. Oh, and All Might had gotten a picture of when he offered him him ball. So he has a picture in his phone of like Izuku just looking horrible, crying. It's his before picture.
Yeah.
And so it goes through it, and I like the montage. We see it, he starts to get ripped, he cleans it up. After he gets called out for overworking, he comes up with, the new plan. We kind of see the bonding, and then we kind of find out, all right, so, like, he finishes his training, like
the morning of the test.
Yeah. And so now it comes time to pass on the power.
Yeah.
And I thought how the powers and passed on was really, really funny.
Yeah, because basically and I don't know if this was the translation, because obviously this was something that was in Japanese first. But like, I thought that it was really funny. He's like, "Yeah, you have to get some of my DNA."
Yeah,
and he pulls a piece of hair off of his head,
and he's got to eat the hair.
Yeah.
And so he eats and goes directly. He doesn't have time to even test out what he can do,
what he even got,
if it worked.
Yeah.
So he goes and he gets. I think he runs into the bully, but the bully he angrily tells him to get out of the way, but he doesn't do anything. And that's when Izuku notes that, because we don't see the bully really in the 10 months.
No.
He he has been a little different since that day.
I think the bully knows that the reason he's alive is not because of All Might; it's because of the kid.
Yeah.
The kid that he's been unmercifully, bullying probably his entire life.
Yeah. And so a girl kind of talks to him. It's kind of funny because, like, girls talk to him. He's spazzing out. After the girl leaves, he's like, "I talked to a girl." I wrote down, technically, you didn't talk to a girl.
This actually explains something, Charles.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if this was the subtitle, because the subtitles were at the bottom of the screen. Okay?
Yeah.
At the point he says that, there was also something on the top of the screen that said, "No, you didn't."
Oh,
okay, so that was part of the...
Yeah.
You said, "No, you didn't actually say it."
oh, that's why I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
And like, technically, you didn't talk to a girl. A girl talked to you.
But that's the kind of stuff that the subtitles were saying
funny.
for me the whole time, yeah.
And so that's as they're about to go into the exam time. He's still fanboying. It's called a couple of... Basically, what's going to happen is it's going to be a battle simulation.
Exactly. And this might be the fact that because I finished my watch of The Rookie, and so now I found something random on Netflix. So I started on Suits. Okay.
Yeah.
They just had a mock trial episode of Suits, and that made me think of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is that they're doing they have, and it's probably because this high school's is such an important thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like they have a few city blocks or something like that's theirs that they just can train and do shit on.
Yeah. And so that's where they get this. Yeah, and so they kind of describe the different enemies. You're going to get points for enemies basically you destroy, and that's where they leave off episode 3.
No, did you catch the one thing?
There's one that's worth 0 points. They're telling you like don't even.
Well, there's four enemies, and they talk about this enemy's worth 1 point, this enemy's worth 2, and this enemy's worth 3.
Yeah,
and that's where they leave it. And then my guess is that the person who talks is going to become one of the other kind of characters in the show. My guess is too. And he's like, "Actually, sir," he actually kind of reminded me of Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Actually, there's a fourth enemy you didn't explain." He's like, "Oh, that enemy you get 0 points for." And that's actually, Charles, the whole way they phrased it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched past this. I'm wondering if that's also meant to be some sort of mental.
Yeah, because they're saying don't. It's they're getting in the way. Don't bother. They say.
They don't say don't bother.
Yeah. Oh, I thought they did.
I could be because I'm wondering if it's meant to be. Are they only going to go after the point stuff?
Yeah, I thought they said don't bother. But
you're probably right.
I don't know. But I thought this kind of the same. It's going to play in.
I think it's going to play in. I think it's going to play in without a doubt.
Yeah, and so that's where we left off. The next episode we'll do the actual exam.
Yeah, next episode we'll have to do the actual exam. I'm gonna continue on. With this without a doubt.
So all right. So diamond and dud time. Basically, we have two scales. We have one that's the diamond scale from 0 to 5. Basically, it's a good movie or show. The higher it is, the better. It is dud is it's bad. higher on that scale, the more like so bad it's good, guilty pleasure kind of thing.
Yeah, and for me, this was an easy thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's a diamond 1,000%.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm struggling about whether or not to give it a 5.
Yeah.
I'm only going to give it a 4.5 because we've only watched like 60 minutes roughly of it. But I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a diamond a 4. It's a good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Almost likely tap back, and I want to at least watch the next episode.
And one thing I'll say that part of the reason why I had us watch this one, Charles, is that because the other one we were kind of looking at, and I know it's probably I don't know if it's like strictly a sci-fi thing. Was there one everybody says is One Piece?
Oh,
okay,
I've heard about
which
that.
I've heard good things about, but I've heard, and tell me if I'm wrong, people. One of the other things I've heard, Charles, about animes is that some of them have tons and tons, just shit tons of episodes, which is fine, but they'll be like, okay, to really watch the show, okay, you watch these episodes, you skip these 1,000 episodes, like literally, and so it sounds like what One Piece can get into is like, okay, don't watch these 14 seasons, so skip over these 14 seasons and then go in. But it sounds like that's not what My Hero.
Yeah,
it's kind of more.
I think on Netflix had 2.
There's like 8 seasons total. Yeah, and some spin-offs.
Yeah, spin-offs.
That kind of thing. But yeah, and so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have an idea for next time.
Cool. What's your idea?
We'll see. Next time we're getting into December.
We are?
Last year we did Santa Claus versus the Martians.
Yes.
Okay, and this year for Halloween, you had me do Winnie the Pooh. You know what? I think it's time for the Holy Grail.
Okay.
The Holy Grail of bad sci-fi. Bad sci-fi is bad sci-fi holiday. And folks, that is the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
I saw it during COVID. It used to be you cannot find out any streaming service. It's only free on YouTube. They used to take it down repeatedly from YouTube because they tried to. They've given up on that. So it's not like they're not going to be streaming it anywhere any damn time. But they don't take it down. So it's been there on YouTube, free on YouTube for a while. That's where you can see it in its entirety, and it's going to be an adventure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so tune in next time.
We appreciate everybody listening. Let us know what you think. Or did we pick the right anime? If you got any ideas for us, let us know. Comment, subscribe. Have a good one.